Hello, I'm Andrea Haynes. I'm the group editor of SAP Experts. And today, I'm here with Jyoti Sharma at the SAP Insider HR 2013 conference. Jyoti is a SuccessFactors SAP consultant, and she specializes in Employee Central. She's with EPI-USE of America, and she has co-written a book. She's co-writing a book with Luke Marson that's coming out in the fall. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and then give us an overview of the book?
Absolutely. Thanks, Andrea. Well, as Andrea said, I'm at EPI-USE America. I've been implementing SAP for almost 8+ years now. My current focus is Employee Central, working with a lot of customers on SuccessFactors implementations. And we have this SAP press book, which is the first SAP press book on SuccessFactors, due for release in September. I'm writing it with SAP mentor Luke Marson, who I'm sure all of you are aware of.
Yes.
The book is supposed to be an ultimate go-to guide for clients, managers, implementation consultants who are looking at SuccessFactors implementations. It covers a broad range of products of the entire SAP SuccessFactors BizX suite, from Employee Central, Cloud Payroll, covers the implementation methodology, integration, what should you be thinking about when you're looking at cloud solutions, specifically when you're integrating SAP with SuccessFactors. So that's what the book is all about, and we're very excited about it.
Oh, good. Thank you. Now, a second question. If a company is deciding to go to a cloud solution, what are the main considerations that they should be looking at?
Yep, that's a brilliant question, Andrea, and it's very important because when we work with customers, we see that they literally need our help to guide them to understand what considerations they should be looking at. Some of the top things that I say is, the first thing is align your processes and people. So when I work with customers, even before we talk cloud, we talk about, are you ready for it? Where are your processes? Are your people ready to make that leap? And it's important so that companies can make an informed decision whether they go for a cloud or not, and not just go by hearsay and recommendation from other people. So that's the first step. The second step is choosing your partner. The way SuccessFactors implementations run, you will be working closely with your partners more than ever, and choosing the right partner is half the battle won. So make sure you have a partner who's involved, who helps you guide through the implementations, and they don't work in silos. So I'll give you an example. If I'm implementing Employee Central, which is the core HRIS system of SuccessFactors, I need to know if you have planned a succession planning or a compensation planning implementation, because Employee Central needs to be, it's the foundation for all the other products in SuccessFactors, and you need to be aware how it needs to be built. So that's point number 2. Step number 3 is, once you've chosen your partner, you have to work closely with them to design your implementation. So I'll give you an example. You need to discuss about what your integration strategy is going to be. What makes it more important is SuccessFactors is releasing new functionality every 3 months. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it may be prudent for you to wait before a functionality becomes mature enough to make an implementation. I'll give you an example. We're working with a customer where we thought that position management, which is a feature in Employee Central, is important for them, and we've been talking to them since last year. We knew that in the October release of last year, position management features are being released, which will make it more mature for this particular customer. So we asked them to wait, and let's start the implementation in February this year. So what that does is, the functionality becomes more suitable for the customer, and they don't have to stall the implementation for want of new features. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the top considerations that you must be looking at, and look at the release strategy of SuccessFactors and what functionality is targeted for each of the releases, so you can plan your deployments accordingly.
Mm-hmm. And have you noticed that maybe a company has looked at that process and decide they're not quite ready, but
yes,
then they can take some steps to get ready?
Absolutely, absolutely. More than often what happens is they've decided, they've probably even bought SuccessFactors, but in order for the implementation to be successful, in order for them to do a 4 to 6 month deployment of, say, Employee Central, maybe they need a month to go back on their processes and talk about what they want to obtain from this solution. So, align it with your business strategy, align it with your overall organizational strategy in what you're trying to achieve with this. So that's a great point, and we see them more often than you would expect to see that.
Oh, thank you. A third topic. I know that SuccessFactors did a release of Employee Central, and I'd like to know what are the highlights of the new functionality.
Absolutely. So, so just to give a little background to the readers, SuccessFactors releases new functionality every 3 months. Employee Central is the core HRIS of SuccessFactors, and so I'll cover features came with Employee Central and Platform because it is deeply integrated with Employee Central. The first thing in Platform is, if our readers are aware of the new homepage that SuccessFactors came up with. After February, you are able to create custom tiles on the homepage. You're able to put a date of expiration, and you're able to control it with role-based permissions. So say you had a shareholder meeting and you want to share some content out of it with some of the key stakeholders, you can build a tile and just give permission to those key stakeholders to be exhibited on their homepage, let's say for a period of 15 days after the meeting was held. So that's number one. Another great feature that came up with, you have a tile that's called a to-do list that shows the various things that are pending or they require attention. Now those action items, they are sorted by the due date and then alphabetically, so that all action items that are due on a particular date, they are stacked together, making it easier for the user to navigate through it. Another great feature that they came up with is you can now report on your users who have permission to do employee imports. So earlier it was difficult for customers to understand, okay, which of my users can import employee data, because to keep it in check. So now you have a report that you can run in order to know who those users are. So these were all the platform features. And Employee Central, one of my favorites is they've delivered standard integration with Finance on Demand and Travel on Demand. What does it help? It helps you to integrate your cost centers from your financial system into Employee Central, and then use it for standard account assignment in Travel on Demand. Another feature in Employee Central is time off. So employees can now request time off for full day, half day, fraction of days on Employee Central. Your managers can do approvals for time off, and this is also available on your mobile devices. So that makes it very user-friendly and available for the users. And last but not the least, and my favorite, is configure object tools. What it does is, so SuccessFactors has a strategy where with every release, they are exposing the metadata framework so that it's easier for clients to configure the system on admin tools and which reduces their dependence on consultants and partners. And in Feb, they came up with a new feature where you can now configure custom object. So earlier you were limited to a standard set of foundation data objects, but today if I have in my hierarchy a subgroup or a supergroup or a group, SuccessFactors does not have it as a standard. I can create a new object that's called group, and I can associate or link it however which way I want for my, according to my needs. So these are some of the highlights of the February feature, and which makes it very mature and very useful for customers to start using Employee Central.
At some of the talks I've been to at this conference, I've heard that there's going to be a lot of continued investment in Employee Central.
Absolutely, yes. That's where all the manpower from SAP is going. There's a lot of good stuff that's scheduled for the May release. I'm actually writing a blog on the Feb release that will be published later this week on SCN, so watch out for that space. Integration is a key point for SAP and SuccessFactors, and I'm publishing a blog early next week on SCN as well, so just watch that space out, and you have a lot of good stuff coming out there.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrea. Thanks for your time.
I've been talking to Jyoti Sharma of EPI-USE. Thank you very much.
Thank you.